Marlo Thomas was more than just the star of That Girl. She was a trailblazer who reshaped the image of women on television. As one of the first female actors to produce her own show, she paved the way for generations of independent, career-driven women in entertainment. But beyond her groundbreaking role, Thomas built a career that spanned decades, from award-winning performances to philanthropy and activism. What really happened to Marlo Thomas after That Girl? How did she transition from America's sweetheart to a force for change in Hollywood and beyond? Let's take a deep dive into her remarkable journey. Marlo Thomas was born on November 21, 1937 in Detroit, Michigan, but spent most of her childhood in Beverly Hills, California. She was the eldest child of comedian and television icon Danny Thomas and his wife Rose Marie Casanidi. Growing up in a household deeply connected to show business, she was surrounded by Hollywood's biggest names from an early age. Her father, a Lebanese-American Catholic, was a beloved entertainer best known for creating and starring in the classic sitcom Make Room for Daddy, later The Danny Thomas Show. Meanwhile, her mother, of Sicilian descent, was a devoted homemaker who instilled strong cultural values in the family. Thomas had two younger siblings, a sister Terry and a brother Tony Thomas, who would go on to become a successful television and film producer. Despite their father's fame, the Thomas children were raised with a strong emphasis on family, philanthropy, and hard work. Hollywood was a constant presence in Thomas's life, and she even had an Academy Award-winning godmother, the legendary actress Loretta Young. However, despite being surrounded by stars, she never felt pressured to follow directly in her father's footsteps. In fact, her famous first name, Marlo, wasn't a stage name at all. It came from a childhood mispronunciation of Margot, the nickname her family called her. Though acting would eventually become her passion, Thomas initially envisioned a different future for herself. She attended Marymount High School, an all-girls Catholic school in Los Angeles, where she excelled academically and socially. After graduating, she enrolled at the University of Southern California, where she pursued a teaching degree. Reflecting on her decision, she later explained, "I wanted a piece of paper that said I was qualified to do something in the world." While at USC, she became a member of the Kappa Alpha Theta sorority, where she built strong friendships and developed leadership skills that would later help her both in Hollywood and in her extensive philanthropic work. Marlo Thomas began her career by making guest appearances on some of the most popular television shows of the late 1950s and early 1960s. In an era when breaking into Hollywood was notoriously difficult, she steadily built her resume by taking on a wide range of roles in both comedy and drama. She appeared in well-loved westerns like Bonanza, medical dramas such as Ben Casey, and legal thrillers like Arrest and Trial. She also showcased her comedic talents in McHale's Navy, The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, My Favorite Martian, and The Joey Bishop Show. Additionally, she had roles in stylish crime dramas like 77 Sunset Strip and heartwarming family sitcoms such as The Donna Reed Show. These early roles allowed her to demonstrate her versatility, proving that she could transition seamlessly between genres. Her breakthrough came in 1965 when acclaimed director Mike Nichols cast her in the London production of Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park. Thomas landed the role of Corey Bratter, a newlywed whose playful, free-spirited nature clashed with the more practical personality of her husband. Sharing the stage with Daniel Massey, Kurt Kasner, and Mildred Natwick, she delivered a performance that was both charming and comedic, earning widespread praise. The play's success firmly established her as a serious talent beyond television. More than 20 years later, she reunited with Nichols for another stage project, this time on Broadway. In 1986, she starred in Andrew Bergman's comedy Social Security, alongside Ron Silver and Olympia Dukakis. Once again, she proved her ability to captivate live audiences with impeccable comedic timing and presence. Even before she found her own success, Thomas had the opportunity to share the screen with her famous father, Danny Thomas. In 1961, she appeared alongside him in an episode of Dick Powell's Zane Grey Theater, titled Honor Bright, where they played a father-daughter duo, Ed and Lori Dubrow. While it was a rare moment of collaboration between them, Thomas was determined to step out of her father's shadow and build her own reputation in the entertainment industry. Rather than rely on his connections, she worked tirelessly to establish herself as a talented actress in her own right, an ambition that would soon lead her to even greater heights. In 1965, Marlo Thomas sang, though the show was never picked up for a full season, it left a lasting impression on a network programming executive who recognized Thomas's star potential. Intrigued by her charm and comedic timing, he met with her to discuss the possibility of building a television series around her. Instead of waiting for a role to come to her, Thomas took control of the opportunity and pitched an idea of her own, a show about a young woman who moves to New York City to pursue a career as an actress, while navigating the challenges of living independently. At the time, the idea of a single career-driven woman as the lead of a television series was unconventional. Network executives hesitated, unsure whether audiences would connect with a show that didn't revolve around a traditional family dynamic. They feared that a young woman living on her own, without a husband or parental guidance, might not be relatable or, worse, might seem unrealistic. Despite their skepticism, Thomas was determined to make it happen. With her persistence, the concept evolved into That Girl, a sitcom that followed the adventures of Anne-Marie, an aspiring actress trying to make it in New York City. Played by Thomas, Anne was independent, ambitious, and full of optimism, taking on various temporary jobs while waiting for her big break. While she had a steady and supportive boyfriend, Donald Hollinger, played by Ted Bessel, the series was never about Anne searching for love or marriage. It was about her chasing her dreams. This was revolutionary for television at the time. That Girl became one of the first TV shows to focus on a working single woman who didn't rely on a man or family for support. It paved the way for future female-led series, most notably The Mary Tyler Moore Show, which debuted just a few years later. But Thomas wasn't just breaking barriers in front of the camera. She was also making history behind the scenes. She became only the fourth woman in television history to produce her own series, following in the footsteps of Gertrude Berg, Lucille Ball, and Betty White. Running from 1966 to 1971, That Girl produced 136 episodes and became a solid performer in the Nielsen ratings. More importantly, it left a lasting cultural impact. The show inspired a new generation of women to pursue careers and independence, challenging outdated notions of what female characters could be on television. Even decades later, That Girl remains a trailblazing sitcom that helped redefine the role of women in entertainment. After 5 groundbreaking years, Marlo Thomas made the bold decision to end That Girl in 1971. The show had been a cultural touchstone, breaking barriers for female-led television, and both ABC and its primary sponsor, Clairol, wanted to give it a traditional send-off, one that ended with a wedding between Anne-Marie and her longtime boyfriend, Donald Hollinger. However, Thomas vehemently opposed the idea. To her, That Girl had never been about Anne-Marie finding a husband. It was about a young woman forging her own path, pursuing her dreams, and proving that a woman's life could be fulfilling outside of marriage. Ending the series with a wedding would, in her eyes, undermine the very message that had made that girl so revolutionary. Thomas later recalled the intense pressure she faced to go along with the studio's vision. Clairol was our sponsor, and they wanted to end the show with a wedding, she explained. I said, I just can't do that to these women and girls who followed Anne-Marie's adventure. I can't now say that the only happy ending is a wedding because I don't believe it. There was a big ruckus about it, but I wouldn't do it. Instead of the expected fairy tale ending, Thomas chose a more unconventional route, one that she felt was truer to the character. In the final episode, rather than walking down the aisle, Anne-Marie takes Donald to a women's liberation meeting, reinforcing the show's progressive themes. Thomas admitted that this unexpected ending made nobody happy but me. I loved it. After That Girl ended, Marlo Thomas was determined to expand her skills beyond television comedy and challenge herself as an actress. She enrolled at the prestigious Actors Studio, where she trained under the legendary Lee Strasberg, one of the most influential acting teachers of the 20th century. Strasberg, known for shaping the careers of stars like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, helped Thomas refine her craft using the method acting technique. She continued studying with him until his passing in 1982, after which she trained with Strasberg's disciple Sandra Seacat, further honing her dramatic abilities. Her dedication paid off in 1986 when she won an Emmy Award for Best Dramatic Actress for her powerful performance in the television film Nobody's Child, in which she portrayed a woman struggling with mental illness. During her acceptance speech, she expressed gratitude to both Strasberg and Seacat, acknowledging their immense influence on her career. Thomas's impact extended far beyond acting. She became a passionate advocate for children's education, gender equality, and self-expression. In 1972, she published Free to Be You and Me, a groundbreaking children's book inspired by her young niece, Dion Gordon. The book challenged traditional gender roles and encouraged kids to embrace their individuality, kindness, and self-confidence. It quickly became a cultural touchstone, celebrated for its progressive messages. Building on its success, Thomas produced a companion album and an Emmy-winning television special in 1974, featuring an all-star cast including Alan Alda, Diana Ross, and Mel Brooks. The project resonated with a generation of children and parents, fostering discussions about gender and identity in a way that was rare for its time. In 1987, she continued her mission with Free to Be a Family, a follow-up special created with Christopher Surf that focused on diversity, inclusion, and family structures around the world. That same year, Thomas stepped into the political spotlight, using her platform to advocate for causes she believed in. She served as a California delegate at the 1972 Democratic National Convention in Miami Beach, showing her support for presidential nominee George McGovern. In October of that year, she participated in Star-Spangled Women for McGovern-Shriver, a high-profile campaign event at Madison Square Garden attended by 19,000 people. During the event, Thomas took the stage to deliver a witty parody of Eric Segal's Love Story, using humor to energize the crowd and rally support for the campaign. Her involvement in politics and activism demonstrated her commitment to making a difference, proving that she was more than just an actress. She was a voice for change in entertainment, education, and beyond. In 1973, Marlo Thomas expanded her activism by co-founding the Ms. Foundation for Women alongside trailblazing feminists Gloria Steinem, Patricia Carbine, and Letty Cotton Pogrebin. As the first women's fund in the United States, the foundation was created to provide financial support and resources to grassroots organizations working to advance women's rights and amplify feminist voices across the country. At a time when mainstream institutions largely ignored issues affecting women, the Ms. Foundation became a game changer, directing funding toward initiatives focused on economic justice, reproductive rights, workplace equality, and violence prevention. Under Thomas's leadership, the foundation played a crucial role in shaping policies that empowered women in both their personal and professional lives, further cementing her reputation as a dedicated activist and philanthropist. In 1976, Thomas had the rare chance to share the screen with her father, Danny Thomas, in an episode of his NBC sitcom The Practice. She played a strong-willed and stubborn patient under the care of Dr. Jewel Bedford, her father's character. The on-screen dynamic between them created an especially touching moment for audiences, as their real-life father-daughter bond added an extra layer of authenticity to the emotional hospital room scenes. Fans of both Thomas and her father appreciated the episode as a heartfelt tribute to their close relationship and mutual love for acting. Beyond her early television success, Thomas has remained a familiar presence on the small screen, taking on roles in a variety of genres. She had a recurring role on Law & Order, Special Victims Unit, as Judge Mary Conway Clark, a mentor figure to ADA Casey Novak. She also made appearances in HBO's sports drama Ballers, the comedy series The New Normal, and the nostalgic Netflix revival Wet Hot American Summer 10 Years Later. Additionally, she stepped into the world of true crime as the narrator of Happily Never After, a series on investigation discovery that explored chilling real-life cases. Before finding lasting love with Phil Donahue, Marlo Thomas was in a long-term relationship with playwright Herb Gardner. Though deeply private about her romantic life, Thomas remained focused on her career and activism, seemingly in no rush to marry. That all changed in 1977 when she appeared as a guest on Donahue, the widely popular talk show hosted by Donahue himself. Their chemistry was immediate and undeniable. Thomas later described the moment as love at first sight. What followed was a whirlwind romance that led to marriage on May 21st, 1980. At the time, Donahue was based in Chicago, where he had built his career as a pioneering talk show host. However, after their wedding, he made the life-changing decision to move to New York City to be with Thomas. He brought several of his children with him, blending their families while continuing to produce his show from his new home base. Their marriage not only defied the expectations of Hollywood, but also demonstrated a deep commitment to making their relationship work, despite the challenges of their demanding careers. Through their union, Thomas became a stepmother to Donahue's 5 children, 4 sons and a daughter, from his previous marriage. Rather than stepping into a traditional maternal role, she made a conscious decision to build a friendship with them instead. In a 2011 interview with AARP magazine, she reflected on this approach, saying, "From the very first day, I decided that I was not going to try to be a mother to Phil's children in the traditional sense. They already had a mom, but instead to be their friend. I'm proud to say that the friendships I established with them are as strong today as they were 30 years ago, even stronger." Thomas and Donahue's marriage became a rare example of lasting love in the entertainment industry. Over the years, they supported one another both personally and professionally, with Thomas often crediting their strong communication and mutual respect as the keys to their enduring bond. They frequently worked together on various projects, including co-authoring the book What Makes a Marriage. Last, where they interviewed dozens of longtime couples about the secrets to a successful partnership. Their love story spanned more than 4 decades, filled with shared experiences, laughter, and an unwavering commitment to one another. Sadly, on August 18, 2024, Donahue passed away, marking the end of their remarkable journey together. Marlo Thomas has built an extraordinary career, not just in entertainment, but also in philanthropy and activism. Her achievements have been recognized with numerous prestigious awards, underscoring her impact across multiple fields. She has won 4 Emmy Awards, a Golden Globe, a Grammy, a Jefferson Award for Public Service, and the highly respected Peabody Award. These accolades highlight her contributions to television, film, and humanitarian efforts, cementing her legacy as a trailblazer who reshaped the portrayal of women in media while making a tangible difference in society. Her influence extended beyond acting and into American popular culture. In 1979, she was honored as part of the Super Sisters trading card set, a special collection featuring prominent women from various industries, including politics, entertainment, and activism. By being included in this historic set, Thomas was recognized as a role model for young girls and women, standing alongside other influential figures who had broken barriers in their respective fields. In 1996, Thomas received the Women in Film Lucy Award, an honor given to individuals who have demonstrated excellence and innovation in portraying women through television. The award acknowledged her groundbreaking work on That Girl, which redefined the image of women on television, and Free to Be You and Me, which encouraged children to embrace gender equality, self-expression, and kindness. Both projects were instrumental in changing how female characters were represented on screen and how young audiences were taught to see the world. Beyond her contributions to entertainment, Thomas has been deeply involved in philanthropy, particularly through her work with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which was founded by her father, Danny Thomas. Her dedication to continuing his mission led to the creation of the Marlo Thomas Center for Global Education and Collaboration, which officially opened on November 20th, 2014. The center serves as a hub for medical research, training, and collaboration, helping to advance treatments for childhood diseases worldwide. The ribbon-cutting ceremony was presided over by former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, further underscoring the center's significance in the fields of healthcare and education. Just days later, on November the 24th, 2014, Thomas was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. Presented by President Barack Obama during a White House ceremony, the award recognized her lifetime of achievements, not only in entertainment, but also in philanthropy and advocacy. The honor placed her among an elite group of individuals who have made profound contributions to American society. Marlo Thomas left an indelible mark on Hollywood, not just as an actress, but as a visionary, activist, and philanthropist. From her pioneering work on That Girl to her tireless efforts with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, she has remained a powerhouse well beyond her time on screen. What do you think is Marlo Thomas's greatest legacy? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into her life and career, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our next video on another Hollywood legend. Thanks for watching.